Still waiting on that coffee. Finally. It's hot. It's good. Off on another camping adventure. Today is January 6, 2024, Saturday, about 2 p.m. Temperature is 37 degrees. It's rain-snow mix, but I think it's going to turn to snow later on as it gets colder. Heading back to Delaware State Park again. I know, I went there a couple months ago, but it's close, it's convenient, it works. But this time, I'm using my hot tent. So a little different. Now, here in a few weeks, I will be heading to Beaver Creek State Park, which is in Northeast Ohio. Rented a cabin there. But this weekend, or at least tonight, I will be staying at Delaware State Park in my hot tent. Talk to you more when I get there. So if you're not doing anything, stick around. Made it to the campsite. Nice campsite. Fairly flat. Lots of grass. Should be good for a tent. It's electric, of course. I did see one other campsite that was occupied with a tent, so I'm not the only one out here. Let me show you around. So as you can see, lots of room here. Should be, well, it should make setting up the tent rather easy. I'll probably set it right up there on that high ground. This is my hot tent. It's a Luxe tent. L-U-X-E. Picked it up probably about 2 years ago. Used it maybe 5 or 6 times. Never had an issue with it. I like it. It's the biggest one I could get. I wanted something big for the family. It has a center pool, kind of like a teepee. So that's going to be the first order of business. I'll set this up. This is one of these deals where I'm just going to kind of loosely stake it, put the metal pole in the center, and then I'll adjust it. There it is. That wasn't too bad. Usually when I set it up, I'm confined. It was nice having this open space here. I could kind of really stretch it out. One of these days I'm going to add some more guidelines to it. But it works the way it is now. Let me show you what it looks like on the inside. There's actually lots of room in here. If you have the stove in here, you can easily fit 4 people just fine. Without the stove, I think 6 people would be fine in here. And this is where the stove goes here. This is the hole in the tent here. And that material is like a silicone, so it doesn't burn. And this tent was designed to have a stove in it. So I guess the next step is to put the stove together. Now my wife will be joining me on this excursion tonight. She's gonna show up here a little bit later. I just wanted to come out here now and get the tent set up before the weather really turned bad. My daughter might be coming out too. We'll see. This is my stove. It's called the X-Stove Wild Wild West. It's heavy duty, made out of Korean stainless steel, whatever that is, but it's nice. And it all fits together. All the piping goes on the inside. Now this stove and this tent, this is not the setup that you'd want to use on like a backpacking trip or if you're having to haul stuff in because it's heavy. This is more for like a base camp or something where you can just kind of drive up to your campsite like I did here, because you don't want to lug this stuff around. It's pretty heavy. These are the legs that screw into the bottom. This goes on the inside, and what this does is it keeps the sparks from going up the chimney. I know, seems like a lot of work for one night, but it's fun. So I'm just going to spread these tarps around on the inside here. Getting a little warm. So tonight, I'm going to use this little camp cot. It sits off the ground about 4 inches. My wife, I brought an actual cot for her to sleep on. She can't lay flat. She has to kind of lay, up a little bit because of neck and back issues. I have 2 of these. The other one is a real burger put together. You have to be a strong man to do it. This one goes together really easy. And it doesn't take as much strength to put these pieces in. This one I bought off of Amazon. Paid about, I don't know, 35 bucks for it. The other one I got for Christmas, my wife bought for me a couple years ago. Got it at Walmart. And I think it's a name brand, but it's just harder than heck to put together, and you really have to put your weight into it. And if you didn't have the strength to do it, you wouldn't be putting it together. I also have this little camping chair. Should fit nice in here. There we go. So tonight for the fire, I've got some good quality hardwood that's ready to burn. It looks to be aged well. I also have this stuff here, bio wood. Don't laugh. This stuff here I bought at Ace Hardware, and I think I paid like about $4.29 for a bundle, and it'll last for about 4 hours. And it burns good inside of the stove. It doesn't take a lot of room. I like it. It's good. So I'm going to be using a combination of the eco wood plus some good hardwood. Mainly the hardwood for the coals. This stuff will burn longer and build up some coals in the pit there and keep it warm tonight. Plus, it'll probably be better to cook on with those coals in there. Whereas this kind of burns up, but it doesn't leave like any coals. It kind of burns completely. Also, on these fire, went brain dead there. These fire stoves here, fire boxes, you want to use a quality wood in it. You don't want to use wood that's sappy like pine. Make sure that you use a good quality hardwood, or like I said, even the eco wood. Brought my box of goodies. This campsite is electric. I think I already told you that. So I am going to use electricity. I paid for it. So I brought an extension cord. I'm going to plug it into the outlet outside. That way I can charge my phone, and I also brought a radio to listen to maybe a basketball game or something tonight. And I brought the little ceramic heater in case I need that. Sometimes when you're camping, at least when out here with the stove, this could go out if you don't wake up and put wood on it every few hours. So I brought the heater just in case the fire goes out. That way I can at least turn it on and I won't freeze in here in the early morning. I wasn't necessarily planning on having a fire outside, just one in the tent there, but I think I'll go ahead and have one, at least a small one. I've got plenty of wood. I'm not trying to be fancy. I'm just using what I have to work with. I think I did bring one fire starter, or at least I have a partial one that I'm going to use for the stove tonight. All right, here we go. I think that's gonna go. Smells good. Just chilling out. It's about 4:15. My wife should be here about another hour or so. And then I'll probably light the fire in the stove and get ready for supper. Having fajitas tonight. Should be good. Tomorrow morning, I'm in for a special treat because I am making me some dry beef gravy and biscuits. Yep, that's it. You heard it. Looking forward to that. So I think I'm just going to chill out for a while. I think I'm going to go ahead and fire this up. Get some cools in there, that way I can start cooking on it here in a little bit. I did bring my carbon monoxide detector. I know, having a fire in a tent goes against everything you've ever been told, right? But this stove and this tent was designed for this. And it's safe. You just got to read the directions and use it the way it's supposed to be used. And use a little bit of common sense. So I've got one of these Duraflame fire starters left over. I'm going to use that. It's kind of dried out, but I'm sure it's still soaked with whatever flammable material they soak it in. Use a couple of these eco wood blocks. Everything looks good. Those little knobs that go on the bottom of this chair, they came off and they stuck in the ground. It's really starting to get warm in here. My wife just sent me a text. She's on her way out. Once she gets here, we'll start the fajitas. All right, it's time to start doing a little cooking. Just gonna set this cast iron skillet right on top here. I went ahead and pre-cut a lot of the stuff I'm using tonight, like the peppers, onions, and the chicken. So I think I'm going to start with the pepper and onions because they'll take a little bit longer than the chicken. And then I'll toss in the chicken, and I've got some seasoning. Then we eat. Also got some cheese and avocado and some sour cream. This is fat, beef fat. It's good. I smoked a brisket last fall, and before I smoked it, I took and I trimmed up all the fat off of it, and then I rendered it on top of the stove. So I have a lot of fat, and it's excellent. So I'll put a little bit of that in there. I've probably got way too much food, so I don't think I'll cook all of it. I've got a cooler with me and it's cold outside, so it should keep. I've got some red pepper and some bell pepper, poblano, and some red onion. We'll go ahead and put the chicken in now. It's really hot in this tent, this fire. Add some fajita seasoning. I think these are ready, although I'm very disappointed. I forgot to bring the cheese that I bought. Oh well. Still should be good. I'm really disappointed that I have no cheese. Really good, but it needs some cheese. The fajitas were really good. I think I'm going to wrap it up for the night. Crawl into the bed there, listen to maybe a podcast or two. I did go for a walk after I ate, which was kind of nice. It's awfully hot in the tent right now, but I'm sure that will cool off tonight as the fire goes down. So I'll probably be up off and on tonight, putting wood on the fire, but should sleep good tonight. And then tomorrow morning, make some dry beef gravy and some biscuits. Although right now I'm like super full. I don't know where I'm going to put that at tomorrow, but we'll make it anyways. and of course, some coffee. So I'll see you in the morning. Made it through the night. It's about 6:45. And it's snowing. I'll show you what it looks like outside here after I get my boots on. My wife just left. She had to get home to take the kids to work. They had to be at work at 8 o'clock this morning, so I'm here by myself right now. I'm going to put my boots on. I'll show you what it looks like outside. And I'm gonna make me some coffee. That's the first order of business. Well, that didn't work. It's still dark out there, so I'll wait for another 20 minutes or so, and then I'll show you what it looks like outside. But I think I'm going to go ahead and make some coffee now. Nothing new here. Just some good old campfire coffee. I burnt through the wood last night. I think I put wood in here about every hour and a half or so. It never went out. And it stayed warm in here. Putting water in here and not overfilling it is a key. If you put too much water in here, it'll start percolating over and make a mess on you. I've done that before. Now we wait, and I think I'll start maybe getting the biscuits ready, or my large biscuit. I think I might just make one giant one. All right, so the plan is to make some biscuits, or a large biscuit, and then make some dry beef gravy to put on top of the biscuit. So to start with, I'm going to make the biscuits. I bought some self-rising flour, which basically means that it has the flour, the baking soda, and some salt in it already. So I'm going to mix this. I'll put this in a bowl here. And then I'm going to add some heavy cream. So basically making a 2-ingredient biscuit. This heavy cream here, this has, of course, the milk in it and then the butter, so it'll work out pretty good. should. I'm just going to eyeball. Probably just make the biscuits in this big pan here and use this for the gravy. Of course, I have my beef fat. I'll go ahead and put that in this pan here. All right, here we go. Fork broke. All right, there it is. I don't have a rolling pin. So I'm just gonna kind of plop this in the skillet here, and then I brought some tin foil that I'll cover it and let it cook. And hopefully it turns out. I've never done this before. Although I have made biscuits before in my Dutch oven, but never in a skillet on the top of the stove. There it is. Now we wait and try not to burn it. The gravy shouldn't take long at all, so I'll go ahead and try to get the biscuit done, get the coffee done, and then I'll make the gravy, then I'll eat. So it's been about 12 minutes or so. I'm gonna take a look. Coffee's still not done yet. Hopefully you can see that. I didn't do a good job of flipping them, but they look and smell delicious. So dry beef gravy is super easy. My mom used to make it for us kids all the time when I was little. And I make it at the house every once in a while. I haven't made it in a long time. I've actually been thinking about this for a while now, and it's been making me hungry. So I'm going to start out with putting some fat in a frying pan. I think when I was a kid, my mom just used Crisco. But I'm going to use some of this beef fat. You could also use butter. Let's just use it all. And then this is the dry beef. Buy it on the shelf. It's stable, doesn't need refrigerated, full salt. So what I'll do is I'll let that heat up, melt down, and then I'll take my dry beef, tear it all apart, stick it in the pan, fry it up for a few minutes, add some flour, make like a roux, and then I'll add some milk and probably some of that heavy cream and thicken it up, put a little pepper in it. Should be ready to go. And I probably could have made all this in the same pan, made the bread, then kind of wrap it up in the tin foil, and then make the gravy in there. Would have been less pans to clean, but we'll roll with this. I think these biscuits are done. I'm going to just set it off to the side so they don't burn. And that heat from the skillet will keep them warm, and if they do need to cook a little bit longer, that'll finish off over there. And I will focus on the dry beef gravy. And I need to get my coffee done. It's getting there. It's about ready to start percolating. Okay, so I've got the beef fat in here. It's melted. I'm going to take my dry beef, kind of break it all up, start frying it. I've got way too much food here. While that's starting to heat up, I'll take you outside and show you what it looks like. All right, it's time to put some flour in here. Okay, I'm going to add some heavy cream. And some milk. Now we just need to let this thicken up. I do have salt, but I'm not sure if I'll need it because that dry beef is really salty. Coffee is getting close. If this starts to get too thick on you, just add some more milk. And thin it out. Time to eat. Still waiting on that coffee. But there you go. That is good. Put a little salt on there, just to set that gravy off. That's good. I think I hear my coffee getting ready to percolate. That is really good. I've waited a long time to have that. It's delicious. Finally. I should have put the coffee on a few minutes earlier. It's hot, it's good. Got a nice little burnt mark there. Must have been from last night when I stuck some wood in the fire pit. Well, I think I'm going to wrap this video up. Hopefully you enjoyed it. It's a lot of fun. Just a quick outing, but I enjoy it. I don't think I'll need to eat the rest of the day now. I ate all that gravy, a good portion of those biscuits. Now the fun part, taking all this down and putting it all away. But I think I'll just hang out for a little bit, finish my coffee, have some more coffee, slowly pack things away and just enjoy the morning. I am on vacation this week, so that makes it kind of nice. So until the next adventure, talk to you later.